So on the Hill, I mean, like, I just want to talk about. Look at this website. Look at this. This is the state of the Hill right now. So okay, like, so we have the thing at the top, the Hill. Breaking news: must apply to end lifetime Twitter bans. Okay, international. Brittney Griner supporters plant pot smoke out outside Russian embassy, and then you got this: Brianna Joy Gray will rep, and then you got like random like images here. There's a bunch of black space. I mean, we're talking about like this is a billionaire owned like news website. I'm trying to talk about this. This is what I'm trying to. But look at this. Like, just it looks horrible, right? You know what I mean? Like, just it looks like this is like a horror film. Looking at this fucking like visual design. Like, did they hire like a fucking 5-year-old to write this fucking goddamn website layout? Jesus fucking goddamn Christ. Anyway, let's scroll down. Get this fucking shit away from me. Oh my god, it's still showing up. Every time I scroll down, it's gonna show up. Are you fucking joking? Are you fucking joking? Get the fuck out of here. Why? Why? Who made this website? Why would anyone make a website like this? I'm gonna try to refresh, because surely that's gonna fix it. Every time you scroll. Okay, I refresh it, and it did actually fix it. Okay, alright. Let's go in. Let's jump. I gotta fucking blow my nose again, okay? Oh my god, this is my last. I'm clinging to my last. Anyway. Demonstrators with advocacy groups DC Marijuana Justice plan to gather at the Russian embassy in Washington around 4:20 p.m. 400, did I say 420? 4:20 p.m. Thursday, and light up in protest of Moscow's treatment of WNBA star Brittney Griner on Thursday. So I guess this is yesterday. The move comes 2 days after a Russian court rejected Griner's appeal of her 9-year prison sentence for possessing cannabis oil cartridges in the country. We want Brittney released and free of the sham charges that Putin imposed on her as his failed invasion of Ukraine backfired, and he elevated Russia to the status of most dangerous rogue nation on the planet. DC Marijuana Justice co-founder and event organizer Adam Aidinger said in a statement, adding he wants Russian President Vladimir Putin to take a good look at what freedom looks like in the U.S. I mean... Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because, like, one, doing a protest in Washington, D.C. at the Russian embassy does nothing. I mean, I'm just going to be, and I'm not trying to be, hey, if you showed up and you got high, that's a win. That's a win. Just getting high every day and whenever possible, that's a win in and of itself. But, I mean, look at the laws in this country. Like, the U.S. is not a free country. We have the largest prison population of any nation, right? Like, I think I've read a study that said we have more people incarcerated than most other major nations combined, right? Like, we have a fucked up country. This is not a free country, right? And then also, like, if the goal is to call on Vladimir Putin to release Brittney Griner, insulting him is not going to do that. Now, again, I agree. Like, you know, Vladimir Putin's failed invasion, I think that's funny. I think that's a funny thing to say. But again, if you're trying to make any sort of diplomatic dent with your demonstration, that's not the way to do it. To me, this is just an excuse to get high in public, and I'm all down for that. I'm down. Like, if I lived in DC, I would get high with these motherfuckers, and it sounds like we'd have a good time. Maybe get some food afterward, get some munchies. You know what's going on? But anyway, you know, again, I'm all in favor of wanting to release Brittney Griner, but it's not going to happen. It's just not, like, there's no chance of it happening at all. Like, Vladimir Putin has said very specifically that Brittney Griner is a political prisoner, and he has said that there's nothing that's going to happen where she would get released. It's just not going to happen unless, like, the U.S., like, you know, maybe, like, let's say 3-4 years from now, we have a Republicans in control of all Congress or whatever and presidency, and they, like, make a deal to stop funding Ukraine's defense or whatever, and then, you know, it's possible in the future, but, like, I'm just saying that's not going to happen. But, you know, again, Joe Biden recently asked state governments to pardon all, you know, nonviolent drug offenders that were arrested with marijuana possession. So if you wanted to take this kind of protest to state governments, again, red states all across the country, Joe Biden called on them to pardon and release nonviolent marijuana possession charges, you know, people, even if they have already been released, to wipe their records clean. So it would be a lot more effective to go to these state houses, to these governors' mansions, and try to force them to do that. Now, again, I don't want to be here and nitpick, you know, I don't want to be here and be the protest police, because I despise that position. I hate people that go out of their way to, like, criticize protest all the time. So, you know, again, you know, I just want to see more kinds of action. Like, I love the idea of going to a protest and, you know, everyone's got a joint or whatever, and it makes that smell, and then everyone in like a fucking 5-mile radius knows what the fuck's going on. You know, like, I like that. I think that would be cool, especially in an illegal state. You know, like, imagine going to South Carolina and doing something like that. That would be powerful, right? But again, I don't want to be the protest police. I think what they're doing is fine. It's just that I hope everyone involved knows that nothing's going to happen. Cannabis is a medical and personal choice for adults in America. That is not true. No matter the party, gender, religion, or race, that is not true at all. Putin hates freedom, but that's exactly what we want to give him, a freedom toke. I mean, that's okay. I agree with that. But it is not true that cannabis is a medical and personal choice for adults in America. In some states, in most states, actually, yes, it is true. But in America, right? In America, that is not true. That is not true at all. So I personally don't think protesting in this fashion is actually too good, because it's just like lying to the people in the protest about like America's track record. I don't endorse lying about your side to make another side, you know, to make them feel owned or whatever. I don't endorse that. Edgar told Washington Post the protest will also bring flags with green pot leaves and a 50-foot inflatable joint. With a message about Griner, he also plans to throw marijuana leaves onto the Russian embassy grounds. Now that's cool. I love the idea of throwing marijuana leaves. Now again, I don't like the idea of wasting it, but hey, just throwing that out there. That's pretty cool. Biden administration says it has made Griner's case, along with that of other Russian-held American former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan, one of its top priorities, saying that both individuals are wrongfully detained. I mean, again, if I'm Vladimir Putin, I'm not giving up these prisoners. I'm just not going to, unless I'm getting something out of it. And like, I don't know, by any, what would create a scenario where Vladimir Putin would release these prisoners? U.S. would have to change policy when it comes to funding defense in Ukraine. Is the U.S. going to change that policy to get 2 people back into the country? No. So I'm just saying, they're fucked. They're fucked. So, you know, there you go. Hoping for the best, but either way, any excuse to get high in public, I'm down with. But you know, that's I don't know if that's going to be too effective, but, you know, hopefully they know that, and hopefully they're just doing a signal boost. But I also don't like the idea of lying about America. America is not a free country. Cannabis is not a recreational or medical option in a lot of states in this country. In fact, most states that are predominantly black have extremely strict marijuana laws, and that's not a coincidence. Again, the war on drugs in this country was founded by racism. 5 years after the Civil Rights Act, the Richard Nixon administration wanted to find a way to criminalize black people and strip their right to vote, and they made marijuana and you know, drugs as a whole more legalized, and then forced them into those communities. So again, the red states have disproportionately high amounts of black people in them, and red states destroy their states with gerrymandering and other things, and manipulation of how they vote for state legislatures. You ever wonder why most of these red states are Republican and mostly white, even though the populations of these states are mostly black? It's because they cheat. They cheat at elections. It's that simple. And they do so because, again, there's a lot of black people that over the last, 40, 50 years, over the war on drugs, have had their right to vote stripped away from them because they might have been walking home from work one day and they smoked a joint, and then a cop arrested them, and now they're a felon for the rest of their lives, right? So again, I gotta blow my fucking nose like a motherfucker, man. Holy shit. I'm actually at a point where it's like, it's Jesus. Anyway, that's my segment on that one. God damn it. What the fuck? I'm fucked up.